Hello there everyone, welcome back to another video about the One Piece card game. This is the video I've been looking forward to recording the most in this set review series. We're talking about black, my favourite colour in the game, for which I will simp for eternally. And not only that, we're talking about my favourite leader from this set, which is going to be Rebecca. I'm very, very excited to be playing lots and lots of Rebecca over the next few months. Let's go ahead and get started, but first, if you're watching this on Patreon, thank you so much for your support, and if you are watching this on YouTube, my patrons have had access to this video for ages now, so you should probably go and check that out if you want early access to all sorts of stuff, including in-depth guides. It's like a £5 a month, I think that's pretty fair. Also, I need you to help me fund my manga rare Sabos, so if you want to help with that, you want to just throw some money at me, that'd be nice. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started with Rebecca. So, I talked about Isho in the green video, let's talk about Rebecca now. So I'm not sure why this is loading so slowly, by the way. So here we have our 2-color, 5-life leader, 5k power. Leader cannot attack. Huge detriment, by the way. Let's not sleep on that, right? Like that's crazy, okay? The effect's got to be pretty damn good to make up for it, and thankfully it is. For one, if you have 6 or less cards in your hand, look at the top 2 cards of your deck, add a Dressrosa, and then trash the rest. This is one of the best leader effects in the game. In fact, I'd say this is probably the best leader effect in the game until we get Sakazuki next set, which just is so much better. But until then, this is unbelievable, right? So here's what's so crazy about this. If you go first or you go second, you get to use this effect. So you're always drawing one. And pretty much the moment you hit like 8 or 9 Don, you're using this every single turn. You might not use it every turn before that, you should be trying to, but you might not be able to until that. You know, sometimes you've got to play on curve, particularly going first is where it can be a little bit awkward. Going second, you should be using this every single turn. But basically, you're drawing 2 a turn, which is crazy. It's better than that because obviously you're filtering as well. You're trying to find an answer, right? You're trying to find something you really, really want. So it's difficult to overstate like just how good this effect is. This makes Rebecca alongside Whitebeard as the most consistent decks in the game by far. It's actually not even close. Just how consistent these decks are compared to basically everything else. This is phenomenal, crazy good. Okay, I think I've spoken about it enough. Also, probably the tied best deck in the game outside of Whitebeard. Yeah, very, very good. All right. We've got Adeo. This is a 2-2. It's a 1k counter and it's a blocker. It's Dressrosa traded, so you play it because it's a chump blocker and it's Dressrosa traded, and you do need to be playing a good number of blockers. Oimo and Kashi, this is a 6-8 vanilla. Whilst vanillas are good, this is a little bit expensive. These are very, very good vanillas though. Like let's not get it twisted. However, if you look at the top end that this deck tends to play, you do have some better options which do make it a little bit awkward to fit something like this in. But I mean, we've seen just how good Thatch has been in Whitebeard. So I mean, yeah, like these cards are definitely very, very good. Orlumbus. This has got to be one of the cards I underrated the most in this set. So this is a 4-5 with a 1k counter. Activate main once per turn. Give up to one of your opponent's characters -4 cost during this turn, and trash 2 cards on top of your deck. Then KO one of your Dressrosa type characters. So, to clarify on this, if you have Saboed your whole board and then you use Orlumbus, you don't have to you don't KO anything. You should just be spamming this effect. This is filling your drop, which you need to happen to get all of your most like scary effects online. And this is going to massively extend the reach of all your removal, right? Now, all your removal, like 5 cost or lower, you're eating it for breakfast, right? And bigger costed units, as long as you're playing, for example, there's a 4 cost event we'll talk about later. That plus Olympus lets you remove literally everything in the game. You're hitting that 10 cost barrier. So yeah, this is crazy, crazy good, staple 4 of. You basically cannot play this deck without Olympus. Gyatz, this is a 1 cost 2k counter unit. On play, up to one of your Dressrosa type characters can also attack active characters during this turn. Rarely, but occasionally, you will play this down for that effect, but most of the time this is just a searchable 2k counter. Cavendish. This is a card that saw a lot of play during early OP04 and actually fell off quite hard. It's a 5-6. Don 1, it can attack active characters. And then when attacking, you may rest your leader, KO up to one of your opponent's characters that cost 1 or less, then trash 2 cards on top of your deck. So why is this bad? Or why did it stop seeing play? Essentially, it was just too much of a draw on your resources at a lot of the stages of the game where you wanted to be playing it, and you were forced to commit Don to it, and the biggest defender, it didn't have counter. If this had counter, I think this would still see play in the deck, but because it doesn't, because you're fighting for that resting the leader, which you're already fighting for space with Leo and with Kyros, it's doing a lot of things that you kind of want to be saving for other stuff, and obviously it is one attack, which can actually be a bit of an issue if you don't have something to attack. Obviously, like, yeah, you slap it on it and attack active characters, but, you know, it's worth saying that it conflicts in a few different ways. The card is still good. I think it's just one of those ones that unfortunately did fall out. All right, Kyros. This is the second best card in the deck. Maybe the best card in the deck. This is a 3/5, no counter. If this character would be KO'd, you may rest your leader or Corrada Colosseum instead. So functionally, this card is just, it's getting bot decked bounced, or it's just staying around. On play, if your leader is Rebecca, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 1 or less, then mill 1. This is so good. This is so good. It's filling your drop, it's giving you access to removal, it's on a 3/5 body, and it's basically never leaving the board. Yeah, this is the most staple card you will see in Rebecca forever. Then we got Sabo. Oh man, this is, I think, I'm gonna say it, this is the best blocker in the game. It's up there. It's really up there. This is a 5/6 with a 1k counter. And a blocker, on play, your characters cannot be KO'd by card effects until the start of your next turn, then draw 2 and trash 2. I mean, everything I could possibly want. This is going to unbrick your hand. This is going to give you protection from all the removal. This is being a 6k blocker that you can just swing with and essentially have a 6k base because your opponent's probably going to want to try and remove it. It's 5 cost, so it's quite annoying to deal with. Every possible good thing this card could have had. I mean, the only way this could have been better if it was like a 7k base. I mean, what the fuck? There's no way they were doing that. That would have been crazy broken. Like, yeah, this is staple, insane, 4 of for life. Basically, every deck with access to black is going to be playing 4 copies of this. And it's the Mangaress, so pray for me or send me money. I prefer the latter, but the former will do. All right, then we've got Stussy. This is a 2/3. On play, you look at the top 3 cards of your deck, and you play up to 1 character card with a type, including CP, other than Stussy, and a cost of 2 or less, and then you trash the rest. Maybe someday we will get this like a rush CP deck, but until then, this is pretty terrible. Next, we have got Suleiman. So this is a 3/4 with a 1k counter. On play and when attacking, if your leader has Dressrosa, give up to one of your opponent's characters a -2, then trash 1. This is just strictly worse or Lumbus, basically. Then we've got Chin Zhao. This is a 5/6 with a 1k counter. Don 1, when this character battles and KOs your opponent's character, draw 2 and trash 2. This is basically just a space issue. Like, it's fine, but like, yeah, you'd never play it. Law, this is a 5/7 vanilla. These are quite good. Again, it is just difficult to find the space a lot of the time, but 5/7s, like, don't sleep on them. This is very, very powerful. We've got a 6/7 in Hadruden with a 1k counter, and then activate main, you may rest one of your leaders to give up to one of your opponent's characters -4 cost during this turn. Again, decent card, good stats, all that sort of stuff. It's just fighting for that leader resting, which is really in demand from more valuable cards. So this doesn't see play. Then we've got Bartolomeo, which is just an insane card. This is a 3/3, 2k counter, blocker. Dressrosa traded. I mean, bloody hell, it does everything. Yeah, unbelievably powerful card. Then we have got Monkey D. Luffy. Man, this card's nuts. This card is absolutely nuts. This is a 7/7. It can attack active characters. Once per turn, you return 7 cards from your trash to the bottom of your deck to set this character to active, and then during your next refresh phase, this character cannot be set to active. This is the ultimate control tool, your game ender. This is doing literally everything you could ever want a finisher to do. The worst part about this card is the fact it is a 7/7. So the fact it's a 7 cost means it is susceptible to the Mihawk. So yeah, whenever blue is a major player in the format, which, spoiler, is going to be happening, blue is very, very good. You're unfortunately going to be in danger, especially with Red Rock existing. So, yeah, it can just get hard removed. It's 7k, which means, you know, it's falling victim to the old Otama Jet Pistol, or basically any of those kinds of removals. If you leave it rested and your opponent just gives it -2k, and then just starts swinging into it, you're probably going to lose it. You have defensive tools, you don't have that much defense. So there's a lot of things about it that are sort of... It's not that broken, but also it's insane. Like, let's not get it twisted. Like, you play this with Corrada Colosseum out, you're getting Rush, and it's just ridiculous. It's an absolutely incredible card. Yeah, this is the reason Rebecca's good, honestly. Okay, then we got Leo. This is a 1/2, 1k counter. On play, you can rest one of your leaders. If your leader has a Dressrosa type, K up to one of your opponent's cost 1 or lower characters, and then you trash 2. This is your secondary removal tool. It's got a 1k counter, and you can just throw it down to be popping something. This is a very good card. It probably gets cut eventually, but it's good now. And then Rebecca, this is a top 3 searcher, and it trashes the rest. It doesn't have an alt art, which, what the fuck? So hopefully someday we'll get that, but yeah, this card is obviously a staple 4 of. We'll do the stage. So this is Karate Coliseum. This is a 1-cost stage. If your leader has Dressrosa type, your characters that have the Dressrosa type can attack characters on the turn they are played. So this completely turns the deck online. Without this card, this deck is terrible. With this card, your Luffy becomes an unbelievably powerful control tool. Your Kyros just goes insane, gives you like so much extra reach, so much threatening power. Everything you play just becomes super, super scary. Yeah, this card is nuts. And finally, we look through the events, all 3 of which are crazy good. So we'll start off with the best one, which is a staple, Gum Gum King Kong Gun. This is a 3-cost event. After one of your Dressrosa type characters gains 6k power, so you're basically doubling the value of your Don. But then, if you've got 15 or more cards in your trash, that character also gains double attack, and then the trigger draws 3 and trashes 2, so it unbricks your hand as well. Yeah, this card does literally everything. So basically, the way you play Rebecca is you set up a lethal that is always built around almost always built around King Kong Gun or Luffy or both. This King Kong Gun lets you send someone to 0 from 2 life. If they don't have a blocker up, they're dying. Like, if you got a Luffy online, like, they're just dead. It's over. There's no way they can survive because you are realistically going to be swinging for 20k, and no one's stopping that, not even Whitebeard. So, yeah, this is crazy, crazy good. Then we got Trueno Bastardo. This is a crazy good removal tool. Why? So main is pops a 4 or less for 4. A little bit expensive, but if you have 15 or more cards in your trash, which you will fairly easily, suddenly you're KOing a cost of 6 or less. And that combined with Olympus means you're hitting 10 or less, which means you can remove anything in the game with this searchable tool. The trigger, also, if you rest your leader, KOs up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less, so do not sleep on that either. Yeah, this is a really, really good card. Is going to be dealing with a lot of annoying tools in the format. And finally, we got Barrier. So this is a card you kind of just have to play at 1 or 2 copies, but it's not that good. It's a 1-cost counter with the effect of, like, if you've got 15 or more cards in your trash, suddenly it becomes a 4k. The nice thing about this is it's really easy to loop because you can just stack it to the bottom of your deck with Luffy, and then you're going to be cycling through your whole deck at least once in a game. So you can just draw it back, and then if you structure it in a certain way, you can just keep adding it back because you can really filter through like 5+ cards in a turn. So yeah, super, super good card. You are sort of forced to play it, but it's like not super broken. The trigger obviously is quite nice. So yeah, overall, Black got some really, really good tools. This is the set where Black becomes a major meta contender. Yeah, the Dressrosa stuff is crazy. Sabo is a ridiculous card. Kyros is a ridiculous card. Luffy is a ridiculous card. Bartolomeo is a ridiculous card. King Kong Gun's a ridiculous card. Rebecca is very, very powerful. If you guys are looking forward to Rebecca content, I promise you it's going to be on this channel. I think I'm gonna max rarity the deck. Like, I've accepted that. The only question is going to be how long it takes me to get the Sabos. Everything else, I'm going to try and do day 1. But yeah, there we go. That's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Seriously, if you want to buy me Manga Sabos, would appreciate that one. Make me your sugar card game individual. Yep, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Cheers.